Hello. So, I wanted to start with this. So today we're working on React Server Components framework, and we're going to talk a bit about this new React Server Components framework that just showed up. I'm going to be looking at this like React from scratch stuff. And it had like this original demo that was presented in 2021, I would say, that was showing how like React Server components and client components work together. So as a kind of like exercise, I wanted to re-implement this. We're going to use JCPenn's version because it doesn't depend on like Postgres and all that stuff, so I can just start it and and actually use it. I don't have to install Docker and stuff. And yeah, so let's start with. I wonder what we're going to start. So this is the version that I started to write. There are a lot of things that are like showing up while I'm preparing to do this. It's like, oh, I wonder how I sent like null over the wire for some reason. This is like not as easy. But the angle that I want to talk about is bun. I've been playing with it a bit. So the idea is that I can so have examples. This, I think, probably public. Yeah. So I've been playing with bun a bit. So you can use it from CLI or you can write a script. I want to try script so that I can do it kind of like more automatically. The idea is that I can have some kind of like JSX or DSX file, and I can convert it into this manual JSX stuff, which will allow me to author stuff in JSX, but still don't have a build step because yeah, I just wanted to play with that. I think if I would add SSR, I would have to find some way to talk to like V8 or bun or something like that. And I'm not there yet, but I'm starting to play with it a bit. The biggest difference, I guess, is that now when you go to maybe router bootstrap. Yeah, so when you see this like React, yeah, let me check if this is the code that is actually running. Okay, so it's like hydrate root, right? So this is the file that we have running right now. But if I go to network tab, and if I go to see what JavaScript files have been imported, you see that it actually gets React from CTN. So I don't have to build this file or like bundle this file. I can author it with TypeScript and all those checks. For some reason, like document is not defined. Not defined. How do you say it? Yeah, it doesn't understand that I'm writing a client application, not server application. But I can live with that. But yeah, I can use some third-party stuff. I can use React and all that stuff. And if I compile that file, like this one, yeah, I think this one is like compiled through bundler. You can see that it uses the same React.js runtime. And what I had to do was just to add the, where is it? Source map, import map, I'm sorry. And I just say, hey, if you see React, use this one. If you see React JSX, use this one. So I can use everything from CDN, and I can write my application completely without any JavaScript tools. But if I have those JavaScript tools, if I want to see like all the types hinting and stuff like that, I can have it. Yeah. So let's talk a bit about Marz. And this is, I think it was started like a few days ago. Yeah, literally like yesterday. And it's already quite a lot of code. I don't know how much of that is kind of like copy pasted from somewhere, or it was just so easy to write everything. It has a package log file instead of bund log, which is fun. The old habits die hard. Old habits die hard. I don't remember the saying. But yeah. So we have index, which is like a server endpoint, server entry, and it starts. Yeah, it has like routing and SSR, and it uses bond to bundle stuff. So it's interesting how they kind of like do everything. So we will look a bit at it, and don't remember if I have it open somewhere. Probably not. But we'll play with it for a second. So getting starting. Bond install, bond run. Yeah, so let's do that. Oh yeah. So my last stream on my second channel was pretty fun. Oops, not this one. Yeah, it was almost 5 hours, and I had Darren join me on it in the end. He was talking about his own framework, which called which one is it? This one. Yeah, it's called Rapid, and the way that I think about it is that it's kind of a bit like runtime. So he's implementing his own kind of like Dino or Bond or whatnot that is focused on this kind of like application that he's building. And he's using Rust. So like the first the byte that you get is getting into Rust. Rust is starting V8, and it runs React and kind of like render to string or whatnot. Don't remember exactly the structure. It was a bit crazy, but maybe I can find it now. Yeah, so this is, yeah, there were packages. UI. Yeah, I don't remember. you would have to see what we talked about it on the stream, or maybe I can. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so this is kind of like how it works. So you start API handler. It has some like static files, all that stuff, but then you have routes, and the main route is SPA route, and it will get HTML template. So it's similar to how like Vite plugin SSR works, where you have just like kind of like holes where your React stuff goes into. And yeah, so this like render. So he's calling V8 and calling render to string. So this is actually going to be probably like less performant than if you do like render to pipeable stream from JavaScript. But he said that like in his benchmarks, it was pretty good. So of course you're like not, you're skipping a lot of overhead that like Node does, but your rendering itself is going to be through the same like V8 engine. So that part is going to be pretty similar. Yeah, but it's a fun approach, and and we were talking a bit about like yeah, how would you add bond to this story, right? I think he's using Vite to build and like bundle everything so that he can run SSR and all that stuff. So this client, this server. So yeah. So we've been doing that. I guess I should keep the link. And so with this framework, right, your first entry point is JavaScript, but it's running Bun instead of Node. So maybe this is a kind of like good enough alternative. So let's do Bun install. It's going pretty slow because I probably haven't like cached that before, but there are really not a lot of dependencies. And yeah, so Bun run start, I think, or dev. I forgot which one is it. Bun run index. Yep. Okay. No such file or directory. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if it's just like the warnings are just wrong. Okay, so what port is it? Is it on? 3000. Okay. Okay, so we have this. We have this. Don't know what sleep means. Okay, so do we have DevTools? Okay, we do. And use is not implemented. Yeah, I've been there. it wasn't fun. So okay, so we have counter. Yeah, it seems like it's just client state. Okay, so what does link do? Okay, so we know that it's client-side navigation, but it destroys this component. Okay, so let's figure this out. Biome, I guess that's like for formatter. Linter, yeah. Cool. Yeah, the log file is fun for bond types. Oh my god. Okay, so rolling crash. Did I do that? Yeah, so we have this subdirectory, and I guess we can have got subdir and say world. Okay, so that's world. I think, yeah, I think you need to like restart application to see changes. Which is not the best. Can I do this? Yeah, this is better. Why it's not? Why it's not in the readme? um, okay, that reminds me. Okay. Okay, so far so good. So the thing that I want to try is how can I reuse the counter between stuff. So if I have this link here and I need to import link from framework, that makes sense, and then go, oh, okay. Okay, so now if I have counter and I add a counter, what's the difference between labeled counter and a counter? Label. I'm not sure. Maybe just to check like the named imports are working. Okay. So yeah, so if I have a counter and that counter is from here, I can increment that and I can go here. So now how do I make sure that I can reuse stuff between pages? So if I say that counter is the first thing on the page here, and if I say that the counter is the first thing on the page here, if I go here, and I go here, yeah, it works. But if I move it around, yeah. So it has to be the same kind of, yeah, cool. Okay, so those are real server components. So let's see what is getting sent over the wire. So when I go home, oh, it's probably already cached. So if I refresh and I go home here, yeah. So it's marked location. Yeah, I wonder what's the kind of like pros and cons of doing this. Because I guess like Vaku does it the same. I'm trying to do the next thing where I just send like a special header to the same route, but I'm not sure that's like the best or the worst way of doing it. Okay, so it's using format that is close to what Webpack plugin does, but not exactly it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if I just go there. So let's go to the index.js and let's figure out where the route is that that handles this. So we have router. Yeah, so I'm guessing this worker is the thing. So this worker is, yeah, what's called worker? Worker for me means like web worker. Yeah, so it's bond serve and implement the proper router. Don't we all wish to implement the proper router? Okay, so this is a special path that will get location. So RC render, okay, and then it will render the pipeable stream, which is a good thing. Then it can respond. Yeah, I'm not sure if we can do better, right? But so far so good. Okay, interesting. RSC router. Okay, so what is RSC router? Okay, we pass it on the top. Right, so this is... Okay, so this is the function that will get the path. And we have routes, and we need to find something with this path. So we have something like this. That's nothing. Okay, where do we get routes then? Options. Okay, recursively beat relevant or index. I don't know if that's the stuff that's actually running, but let's say that it is. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm trying to understand how this like routes. Maybe that's for like HMR purposes or something. But yeah, it's the same thing, just maybe called with different options. I don't know. Seems like more than one way of doing the same thing, so I'm not sure why. So this is a thing that does kind of like file-based router, and right, so it will recursively do this and that. Okay, so it will try to find the index, and then right. So are those just the names of the file? What's the route? Hate that my formatter is not.
Jengestiarm is now following.
Oh, thank you for the follow. I'm so close to 100. hopefully soon enough. Okay, I'm not going to care about formatting. So we have undefined right now, but if I go to the real one, we have a module and a page. Okay. So where do we get page? So page in route. Okay. So if I'm importing world, oh, okay. So it's just looking for this file, and it doesn't do any bundling on server stuff. This is interesting. I wonder how I can check it, but yeah. So the server routing is pretty simple. We have a route, and we try to find if there is a file for this route, and file needs to have page function. So if it's like page 2, Okay, I guess we need to restart it. Oh, I'm checking the wrong file. Yeah, so this one. And so if I change it, yeah, it's null. It's like, oh, I don't know this page anymore. Okay. So now in this file, and this function can be async. And the, okay, where did I go? Worker, I guess. Yeah, so when we do our render to pipeable stream, this function knows how to render async components. So we don't have to do anything special with it. But it also means that if I have, yeah, so this promise is going to be like pretty slow. Yeah, so 43, 45. Interesting that it updated. Why would it update? This is so interesting. I wonder if they not sent hydration data. That would be so fun. They don't. Interesting. Almost finished with SwellKit HTMX hyperscript. Of course, it's running on Bun. Yeah, it's so fun to see how quickly Bun gains adoption. I'm just comparing that how Dino was going, and it's like, yeah, Dino required much more buy-in, so it was like using like a different language, right? So it's like using Clojure script or something. It's like everyone who's doing something Dino, they're like, we don't care about Node. we don't know that anymore, what Node is anymore. If you go to like early days, if there was like a Dino package, there would be like no Node version of this package. It's like, what's Node? Why do I care about it? But Bun, everything is like compatible with Node and Bun and Dino and all that stuff. So it's nice to see that. Okay, interesting. So the oh yeah, they're using import maps. That's fun. I don't know why. I don't know what it gives you. They shouldn't be needed, but for some reason, imports end up as just. Oh yeah, okay. So let's go to. Oh, I can't show that on stream. I always forget. So this thing has its own Discord now. So if we go here and if we copy this, it shouldn't be needed for some reason, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I need to check if that's true first. So bond.build, yeah. Interesting, so it has a root. So I was going to say that it's going to be a root. Huh. Yeah, okay. Okay, ignore that, I guess. Maybe you can still play with it. So bundler. Yeah, it's funny that it uses import map. Okay. So yeah. So what is happening is that this script is not. I guess if we go to counter, and we can say that, so this counter is like use client. I don't think use client is, yeah, I wonder if it's actually used. Okay, I think it is used. Or browse something else. Yeah, interesting. So what is using use client then? Because Bun doesn't really know about that. Okay, so we have this thing. Oh yeah, it does check for use client. Okay. So if it's not a client component, just return the code and let it be bundled. Okay. So it's server bundle. And it uses a plugin. Okay. So export React reference. Interesting. Okay, is debug. Okay, how do I turn debug on? Okay. So, okay. Okay, so it does everything just on the start. And the client depths manifest entry points. Yeah. Client reference. Interesting. So who is doing the client reference? I guess that's just the format that async false AD this. I guess just the format that React understands. Yeah. Because it seems like they use the same. It seems like on the client, the code is like the standard one. Yes, of a pack. To avoid forking React. Yeah, I haven't touched that thing yet. Yeah, interesting. So there's this like global global value. So we have a router and a counter. And yeah, so this seems to be just the module. Okay. Okay. So this is basically like the hook that allows React to know what client code to pick up, and this is the thing that should be Zero Components demo. Interesting. I first heard about it from Vaku. So Sunil Pi. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. So I guess it's like a ES build version. instead of, yeah, but it's like hooking into the same stuff. And it's using the same like fetch batches. Yeah, so have this. Okay. Interesting. It's interesting that this is just like a one-time thing. How do I find things that are actually using it? Browser development. Okay, so we don't care about non-modules. I think. Okay, so this is the built version. Okay, let's look at it. Oh, it includes like React and stuff. Okay. Okay. Yeah, but someone needs to set this value. I'm slightly confused. Yeah, you need to have this as just like a global thing, right? And if you go to some next.js, they use their own name because they have their own fork of React. So it's a bit easier for them. Yeah, this one, right? Okay, so this is going to be a thing that I need to figure out once I'm going to add SSR and bundling, but I'm not entirely sure that I will, right? Okay, so this is like the compiled version of kind of like everything. So yeah, I guess that's we can talk a bit about what is the damage. So what's the damage bytes wise? Okay, I guess I need to turn off debug. Okay. So we have client. Oh, it's probably not using gzip, right? Okay. So this is the thing. It has like a few. Yeah. So it says router.js here. I think that's the part that's crashing right now. And where's our build? Yeah, so if I have root in a different place, okay, no such file directory. Okay. Yes, this one is importing router. Yeah, so if it was framework, like that. No such file directory. client, framework client. Interesting. Okay. Okay, and I'm in bundler. And the import map stuff is, yeah, we need this to be framework client router. Yeah, that's interesting. So if this index.tsx Saban, I was just like reading it today. Saban bundler. Bill. Yeah, so root. So if unspecified, it will be first common accents or okay. So let's try not specifying it. And cannot find module components counter. Okay, so if I skip this for now. So failed to open root directory client, right? So it should be framework client. Okay, could not find module framework router. Yeah, okay. Too much stuff. I'm not going to figure this out. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, so what we got here is that we can use... Oh, hi. I just noticed the chat in YouTube. Yeah, so I'm looking at this. Yeah. Okay, let me return everything to the working state. So we have this new framework called Marz, and it's implementing React components using bun as a bundler in the runtime. And yeah, it's pretty close to I guess it's interesting, right? So it's close to like React from scratch, right? But it goes one step further by using the like real Webpack RSC plugin, or I don't remember how it's called. But the idea is that as long as you generate your stuff in the right format that Webpack plugin can understand, you can reuse React Server components kind of like in a full a full capacity. You can use render to pipeable stream and all of that fun stuff. The only kind of like crazy things that it does right now is there's bug with import maps. It's just, I don't know why it's that. It seems like just like a bug in Bun, and it needs to do a bit of like a wrapper to talk with React for real. The interesting part is that they don't have hydration information in the HTML. So when your page first loads, you will see the HTML on the page, but then it needs to put the whole the whole framework before it can ask for hydration data. And once it asks for hydration data, then it will where is it? Yeah, like this. Once it got it, it can hydrate, which is not that different from what I have because I'm also like pretty slow with my hydration, but I have my own kind of like format that I created for this. But it's like reusing the same thing that is needed when you go between pages. Okay, there's like such a big wind right now, so like the window got open. So what do we have here? Yeah, so this is like the standard format that everyone uses for RSC right now, and they can reuse it between pages and stuff. So I just wanted to see what the page size is. So this is pretty small page. We have some like embedded stuff, right? So this is just those wrappers. We don't have too much stuff except for like import maps. So then we import this initial kind of like thing. It will import React and yeah, interesting. Yeah, interesting that it splits it here. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah. So it will import like the framework and React and try to hydrate it using create root, by the way. Why not hydrate root? That's interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to use create root because I saw create root used in like some demos, but not in like frameworks. And yeah, so this is going to be like React and the framework. It doesn't seem minified. And 1 megabyte of transfer network transfer over the network is not sounding too good. Do they have deployed version? Not yet. Yeah, would be curious to run like Lighthouse on it. Shouldn't be that bad, but hey, interesting that it has a separate chunk. What that chunk is all about. It's just 70 kilobytes, so it's not a whole React. Because this is definitely whole React. So interestingly enough, if you do this, it should tell bundler to use production version. And yep, that helped. So this is React, minified React. Okay, this feels safe, this feels normal. And how much was it? Yeah, so this is the router. Yeah, this is navigation stuff. This is resolving stuff. Yeah, so this seems like the whole thing. Why do we have this? Yeah, I wonder if that's just like some... Yeah, this seems like a part of React, but why is it split into a separate thing? Yeah, I wonder if that's just like the bug in bundler and somehow it shouldn't be there, but it is. Yeah, so like re-importing everything. Yeah, this file seems strange. I don't know what it does. Yeah, it's just a chunk. Okay, so anyway, so 177 and 8. Okay. So 177 is a strange number. Don't recognize it. Don't recognize it. It's definitely like secret internals. It's definitely React. So one of them must be React DOM and the other should be just React. This is the only way that any of this makes sense. And it's still interesting why it's 177. Well, I guess. And then we have like this hydration data, right? So for this page is 100, maybe 100 bytes. So what we're saying is that I thought that React DOM is 150, not 170. So this is the only thing that is somehow trouble for me. Okay, let's say unminified version, and let's just see where the like framework code starts. All of this is React. Oh yeah, maybe it has a name. Yeah, React development. And this is React. Oh, it's also React web, React server DOM webpack. So how much of that do we have here? Oh yeah, maybe that's the kilobytes that I'm thinking about. Yeah, if it's just like 20 more kilobytes. Oh yeah, this is like all this stuff. Interesting. I haven't realized that React server components are adding 20 more kilobytes to React DOM. Okay, can we check that? Can we go to bundle.js and just try this? Which is like version 0. No one has updated it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, bundle.js is having good old time. Yeah, I wonder if it's not working because of some cache. Oh, maybe it's just not working. Okay, build. 400 bytes. Well, clearly more than that. Yeah, so yeah, so how are we importing it? So that's the build. Okay, so this is what we should be importing. Okay. Error. Of course it is. Do not know how to load. Okay. Yeah, Bundle just doesn't know what to do with this one, but yeah, it just feels like 20 kilobytes, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's probably it. Again, cool project, deserves a star, and that could be like a, at this moment at least, you can kind of like go through the most of the code and understand most of the things that needs to be done. But by introducing streaming, you have to do a bit more stuff by introducing like yeah, by using Webpack stuff, you have to hook into all of this stuff. By supporting use client, you need to have a bundler that is like aware of all of that stuff, that needs to turn clients into that needs to turn client into this like client references and stuff. So interesting stuff. Cool to see it, and I might need it soon. Okay, that's going to be it for Marz. Let me close some stuff. Maybe I can keep this one. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, let's go and hide all of this for now. Group, where's the group? Okay, so let's go back to my thing. Yeah, so I'm doing some experiments. I think I'm doing error here. What's my port again? I forgot. 8080? Yeah. So I have this thing. I'm trying to understand. I'm doing some of my hydration stuff wrong. So yeah, I wonder where I should start. So I have this component that I'm getting from Facebook. So now that I have this component, I want to make it a bit different. So what is wrong with it right now is that I'm using this like island thing, and I'm using it wrong. I need to find a better way to use it. Uh, yeah. So where did I get new to? So that's this, right? So my islands need to have some kind of fallback, and I'm not entirely sure how it should be implemented. So I should implement some kind of like render props, but that sounds complicated. And yeah, so I haven't done it yet. So the idea behind line lengths is that I can write some code here and I can have it there. So if I don't hydrate it at all, or I guess, yeah. So if instead of children here, I would say title here. So I have this file. I just saved it. Now if I run build, okay, success true. Should like make a better reporting. Yeah, I guess if X success. Yeah, if it's not success, then do this. Otherwise, build successful. Yeah, let's keep it simple. So I built it. So now I turned it into this. And I can try loading it. It still does something wrong. So my component 3 is I have this island. I have this edit button. A passing title. Yeah, do I break hydration somewhere? So I have this island island component, and if I just do something like this, okay, so it replaces the button with div, which is the right way to do it. So now if I would have shown if I would have shown children inside of this div, okay, it actually works. So creates this div and shows. Okay, so that's the original stuff. Now instead of original stuff, I want to show the component and maybe just like empty. Okay, title is not defined. Okay, let's define a title. Okay. Which is good, right? Oh yeah, that's just a bug because I need to title here. Okay, this is going to be like a huge problem. I need to add it in source, I need to build it, and then I need to reload it. Okay, so it shows Strike Island as a button with this class. So everything seems to be fine. So if I go back to so now if I go back to this one and do it like that. Okay, so does it seem like I changed anything? I think it just started working. Okay, so the interesting part is that we should be actually passing, yeah, node ID and title and stuff. Yeah, so we're passing everything. We just don't see it in HTML, which is fine. Okay, so so what I'm doing right now is that like I'm re-importing everything. It would be cool if I could just like do it automatically. This is what like all those client references and stuff do, which I don't do. And I wonder if it's that hard to do, but I'm going to skip it for now. Just to keep like everything kind of like vanilla. So it's like I'm doing kind of like RSCs from scratch instead of using all the mechanisms that they added. Yeah, and my point is that you can do stuff without it. Okay. So we have all of this stuff. Let's remove counters just to make it a bit cleaner. Yeah. So we have this edit button. So what it needs to be doing is that it needs to navigate when you click on it, and it doesn't do that because it's like navigate is not defined. So I do have navigate. The funny thing about this this thing is like all the navigation is actually happening without changing URL. So it's just some kind of like state, right? And I guess the question is like, do I just write a new router that works as this one, or do I implement it with a real router? And implementing with a real router could be simpler because I have this global function that is like RSC something, RSC enough. I guess because I don't do SSR, it's not going to match anyway. So this page, if you like disable JavaScript, it's just empty page, right? It doesn't do SSR, but mine does. So this puts me in a funny spot. Yeah, so let's say that we just call this function with let's say edit node ID. And again, I'm editing the wrong file. Should be editing this file. Okay, so now build and refresh and click edit undefined. Okay. So for some reason it became undefined instead of nil, which is interesting. So for my application, where I do, so it should be node ID. Okay, so refresh. No, okay. I don't know if that's better. I was like so confused how to do this null thing. I can do something like this. So it's like if it's node ID, then this. Otherwise, just edit or maybe new. Huh. Oh, it is there. It is a string. I remember it now. Yeah, this is definitely the thing that I need to fix. Yeah, because if it's draft. Okay, so we're going to say this. So if it's draft, then edit. Otherwise, it's this. Okay, so let's build it and refresh. Okay, I'm so confused. Okay, so let's try again. Console log no lady build refresh. Okay, so it's null. So I can do this. Okay, crash something or no. Components not working for some reason. Okay. Edit null. If it's draft, go to edit. Okay. I don't know what's going on anymore. Yeah, it's unfortunate that this thing doesn't work anymore. Okay, so my problem is that it's null here, but I guess Yeah, so it's true. The button is solid, but our RSC enough. Okay, so yeah, should go to edit. Okay, I don't understand what's happening. This is too much. This is entirely too much. Okay. So yeah. I'm going to just ignore all of this and wait for better. Oh, okay. It started working. Hate this. Yeah, so let's go to application. So we have another island, which is called search field. So let's go to search field. The first thing is that we need to move search field into strike examples, strike nodes, public app. Okay. So now that we moved it, we go to our build script. We say so I have another thing, and if I just do app search field JSX. Oh, I need to also like remove it, rename it to JSX. So if I do this, oh, it's also picking up some other stuff. Yeah, but if I do this and I try to do build, yeah, it's asking for spinner. Okay, so let's move spinner around. Yeah, so needs to be spinner JSX. So spinner is done. Okay, so if I build it, they'll complain about router, which is fine. Okay, build successful. So what have we built? So we built search field that has spinner inlined, which is probably fine for what we're doing. And yeah, let's try to use it. So for that, I go back to islands and I do this. Oh, it's not spinner, it's search field. So I do this. Now, where I have my application, I do return island. It's called search field. Yeah, I need to check what was the original. Yeah, it was just search field without any props. And so I do the same. Okay, so now if I refresh and is it working? Okay, I see only one island. It's probably crashing somewhere. Oh, it's expecting props to be there, even if it's nil. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So it's like empty at first. Okay, so what's the... Okay, we have some issues with keys, but like the rendered thing is fine. So we want to go here and copy that, I guess that form, and we can add like SSR version of it. So it's h form class search for all search. Then we do h input id is at bar search. Yeah, all the other stuff we can probably skip. Okay, it's not compiled for some reason. Expected new line. Okay. 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 I guess some item is there to... Okay. I guess like spinner. Yeah, I guess we need to add spinner. So it's the... So label... Okay, I guess I can just like remove it. If I remove label, it's fine, but if I remove spinner... Interesting. Okay, but yeah, let's try... what is it? Diff. Okay, now age label. Interesting. Yeah. Each child should have a key prop. So label inside of search field. Okay, interesting. So when it compiled it to JSX with children, but it should have been JSX as... Okay, I have some comment I missed. Which API I'm using in my kit is import metaglob for reading files on API calls. Okay, so your... So import metaglob sounds like server API, right? So you can only call that first from server. But because you're using JSON, you can have static files on server that will store some data. Yeah, it sounds like a Astro content collections. So you can create like, hey, this is a collection of files, and you can say they are like JSON or TOML or Markdown and so on. And it gives you this, so like authors, right? And it can give you information about the author. And because they're basically like building relational database on this, you can say that inside of Markdown, you should have an author flag that is one of those like JSON files, and it will like type check it. If it's not there, it will yell at you. Yeah, all of that stuff. Okay, so do we call Bonds JSX transform bad? Would we just go and call it bad? Is that how we're going to do it? So if I have this component and I go to TypeScript playground, and if I put it here and I compile it with React.js, I get this. I get JS and JSX. But if I take this file and compile it through Bon, it doesn't work like that. So let's create a simple file. Let's say test.jsx. And let's store it. And let's do bundle build test.jsx without cd. Just this. Right, so it's complaining about React. And we say external React. Now it's complaining about spinner. Yeah, let's just say that external spinner. Okay, so it compiled it as JSX. Yep. And now let's get rid of the spinner. Compile it again. JSX. And let's remove everything except for input, I don't know, ID. And yep. And now let's remove all of this. Let's remove all of this. And let's remove this. Okay, and it's using the wrong JSX. Yep. So do this. Get JSX. Yeah, it's unfortunate that like on the one line. Can I make it smaller? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wonder why no one noticed that. It seems like a pretty big issue. Yeah, but it's there. Okay, so let's go gist it up. So you have yeah, so we have test.jsx, and if we compile it with JSX transform, we will get something like this. Okay, but if I do the same file, but if I bundle the same file with bun, it will produce something like this. And yeah, so the plan is to insert this link. Which will give us warning. Because we are using JSX instead of JSX S for children, yeah, for an array of children. Okay, and how's it looking? Bun. Okay. Go to my okay, nothing important yet. Oh, I guess I started spaces. Jacob kicked me from his space, and I'm still waiting for him to apologize. So no spaces for me. So we have all of this, which is unfortunate. But this is one of those, that's why you don't use bundler. And you just write it yourself. Which I guess I can just do that, right? I don't like that it's like jumping. So we have some things that are like strange. So So you provided a value prop to a form without onChange handler. Okay. So what's happening with onChange handler? Yeah. Yes, it's just the problem with my approach. The way that I create stuff. Okay, so if I go... Okay, interesting. So if I go to Bootstrap and I will just... Not Bootstrap, I guess Island. Yeah. So let's just like never hydrate islands. Yeah, fun. So if I go to my application and where do I have value? Okay, so I have an empty value, which I can just remove. Yeah, so it's no longer complaining, but it's not the same height for some reason. Why? What is it waiting? What does it want? So it's the same stuff. This one has value. So if I do value, they're just the same. Hi there. Jared will fix it. He's already on it. Is it? Well, fix it. Yeah, I'm surprised that no one saw that one because this is like such an obvious issue. I wonder why am I the first one who's complaining about it. Yeah, but this is crazy. Um, okay. So why is this form big, but that form is small? So I wonder, yeah, I wonder if my strike islands should have some kind of display contents. Yeah. Okay. Where would I put this CSS? How many CSS files do I even have? Okay, this one. Yeah. What's the right way of doing it? Yeah, this is crazy that he's already on it. Scrambling and trying to find some bugs with Bond until they fixed everything. Yeah. So if I we have this island. Yeah, I don't want to touch styles because they can interfere. So I wonder if I can just kind of like at the top of the page, just add a style. Yeah, just as a style rule, and just say that. Okay, how do I copy it? Okay. copy that. Yeah, so it's not element, but it's strike island has display content. Okay, cool. That's because what Astra is doing for their thing. Okay, so it's still a bit different. Okay, so mine have padding for some reason. So this one is 0.16, but mine is 0.16.16. Why is that? This is crazy. What is happening? Now I don't know what that means. Yeah, search input. Yeah, I guess I was looking at the wrong one. Okay. Okay, sidebar menu. Okay, so what is this property? Flags girl 1. Okay. Sidebar menu search. Oh, fun. So this rule doesn't work because it's not right. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder I was wondering where my thing will stop working, and this is that thing. Hmm. So does it work after hydration? Yeah, it works after hydration because it removes that web component. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, this is like this is a way for you to know when it's hydrated. Like, when is this one hydrated? Who knows? So it's like now. But this one? Now. I see it right away. Okay. Um, Fun, somewhat, somehow. Okay, so eat some cheese. Yeah, so do we have those warnings now? Yes, we do. What do we do with those warnings? I guess one way of doing it is I can go to this and just like add key to everything. And navigate is not defined. Interesting. So it navigates on every keystroke. So there is not even debounce or something. But maybe Yeah, because it's using transition, maybe it's like it's not as big of a deal. But still crazy. And it's also crazy, I guess that means that the navigate function doesn't use transition by itself. Does mine do? Yeah, this is interesting. Because I can only navigate by changing URL, right? Now we need to that information about like what is selected and what we are searching. Now this needs to live in the URL. That's interesting. So I could be editing it and still searching, right? I also don't have, and I also don't have server actions. Yeah. So first thing first is that this behavior for islands, because can I change it somehow? Can I make it so that I don't have to do islands? I mean, it feels fun. Like the islands idea, like I like it, but it breaks down because I remove it later. So when I'm inside of the island, uh, I get rid of the island completely, and maybe that's not the right way to do that. So maybe I should do something like JSX strike island, and then children this. So if I did that, yeah, style is the same at least, right? I preserve the island here. So now strike island here. It's strike island here, the empty one. So yeah, maybe the prop is right. I can technically still do children props. So it will preserve it there, except that I need to change children, because that's where the component is. Yeah, so that will at least make CSS consistent, and now I can go here and say that it's search menu dot search. Yeah, so you can't see it's hydrating anymore. Oh, have you seen that? So I was able to type something, and there's that. Interesting. So that seems like maybe like order mismatch, because I have form here and there is a label. Yeah, especially because of that key stuff, right? So if I have a label here, so they need any of this for this label. It just needs to be there. Nope. Interesting. This is this is crazy. Okay, so let me do hydration very late. So let's do set timeout, set hydration, and just like after 1 second. So I do this. Yeah. So maybe 2 seconds. Yeah, everything got recreated. Interesting. Why was it recreated? How can I make sure that it's not? Important questions here. Like one way of dealing with that, right? If I just have this input and I just say that this input is disabled. Okay, I think oh. I don't know how to serialize booleans yet. Yeah, so it's disabled, so I can type in it. And once it's hydrated, I can type in it. Yeah. Okay. So let's say that this is our plan so far. And now yeah, so now let's try to do search. So we have this. Yeah, we haven't fixed the key stuff yet. I don't know if I can do hydratable. Yeah, so yeah, so this one, I don't know how fast it hydrates. And I can like make it slower to hydrate or something. Probably by this point it's already hydrated. Yeah, I wonder if it has the same issue. So if I just do really slow network. Oh, because they don't have SSR. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Of course it's hydrated, right? Okay. Oops. Okay. So here we're yeah, this is crazy. So because like those things can happen at the same time, we could be searching and doing the other stuff at the same time. Yeah, so I wonder if they would have done it this way in the new version, or would they just use actions for a new version of this app? Okay, but we can only do RSC now. What's happening? RSC F. This is the only thing that we can do. And I guess we're doing something like this. Okay, forgot to build. Forgot to build for real. This one, yeah. Okay, and yeah, but because I also need to store if it's selected, right? That's part of the server state. So the data to be sent here is like all of them could be happening at the same time. So I wonder if search text is, yeah, search text may be, yeah, so we can do equal window location, new URL, something like this, and then do URL search from, yeah, something like this, and then URL to string. Yeah, so I wonder if that's better. Received string true for Boolean attribute. It works, it will not work as expected if you pass string false. Image disable true. Okay, I don't know how to do any of that yet. So, okay. Okay, I forgot to build again. I need to have like a watcher for that. Yeah. So if we are here and we are typing, it should be this, but if we click on something, it should be the other one. Okay, so now let's do the other one. So the other one is, yeah, the suspend stuff. Only skeleton. So why is it skeleton? So we have suspense and then UL. I have no idea. I have no idea how I can send suspense over the wire. So it has to be, yeah, is it a server suspense or a client suspense? That's the thing that I need to solve. uh, so eat some cheese. So if I go to network and I search for eat some cheese, okay, we can't find anything. It's not good. So what's the original? Yeah, we don't have anything in the original HTML. We should be having something here. Yeah, but why the suspense? Why we have no list skeleton? It doesn't seem to be used. Right? So the node list is a sync function, but it doesn't take any time. Yeah, so if we do this, probably need to restart it. Okay, I'm not sure if it worked or not. So did it work or not? Oh, am I editing it in the wrong folder? Yeah. So sleep 3000. Is this the right one? No, this one. Okay, so change it here. Restart it. And okay, it shows something. Okay, how is it delivering that over the wire? So it seems like it's this one. So what's the timing on this one? Yeah, so it took a long time in this. Yeah, so it was still streaming. Okay, so it was server side suspense. The problem is, am I going to implement server side suspense and streaming, right? It's a sidebar node. So yeah, so this one is client one. So it has all of those kind of like interactions. But this one is yeah. This one is server side, and it does the markdown. Markdown and date format and all that stuff, just to show like, hey, you see how much stuff we're doing with the server? All of this code would have been sent to the client, but now we can just send HTML, and we can send, yeah, they use HTML for children. yeah, so this is like, hey, this is a component, and I don't know if I can. Okay, so this only goes to JSON. You don't send that to HTML, right? So how do you know that you don't send that to JSON to HTML? Because it's not primitive component. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so we're getting into a bit of a like complicated parts of how everything could be implemented. And I don't really know what we're going to do here. Okay, so let's do it. So what we should be doing here? Yeah, so server-side suspense. So I can't really do server-side suspense in my current setup. And what are the options? What are the options for doing it? Right, so it's interesting that this node skeleton skeleton container. So if I go here and I search for skeleton container, I see it. But if I remove this await, yeah, this is like for such a small applications, it takes so long to recompile it. Interesting. So it still sends that data. So it still sends the skeleton stuff. Even though interesting that this one doesn't have syntax highlighting, but the other one did. I wonder what are the different headers that they're sending it. Transfer encoding. Yeah. Okay, so server-side suspense. Okay, so let's keep it for now. This seems like a too complicated topic to do today. Let's see what we can do. What are we going to do with what we have right now? Interesting, because I actually know this value on server now. Because I'm doing SSR, I should be putting this value from the server. Yeah, this is slightly like inconsistent, but yeah, Okay. So now let's say that I have those. I have those. Is it SSR or server? Yeah, server db.js. Yeah, so we can. Okay, so we can create a folder that is going to be, yeah, let's say server. And now we move that db file to server. Okay. I didn't write git move. Okay, so now let's see how we can do that. I should probably just commit this for now. So the problem with committing is that I'm going to commit the build files, which is not the best feeling in the world, but we would have to do that. Ignore examples, otherwise it will watch changes in modules. Okay. So this one. So I added yeah, I should do like a better messaging because right now it's like there's no way to recover from it. It can just like crash in the middle of like tag. Yeah, so add error and link. This of course should be like a part of the framework, but so just next.js. This one doesn't make any sense, I think. We don't care about this one. We do care about this one. Yeah, I don't know how to commit this one. Add CSS rules for Strike Island. I think that's how we're going to call it. Don't need this one anymore. We don't need this one also, but I could keep it. So we did islands. And we added islands here. So we added 2 islands and a script to build them. Okay, and this is going to be our implement 2 islands. Okay, so here is our data part, and we should, yeah, we should move the data part here. Right, so we added data. So now inside of the app, what is going on here? Yeah, sure. Okay, so now inside of the app, we do have so it's nav, and inside of nav we have skeleton and node list. So what is skeleton? So skeleton in a way is the same thing as like our SSR fallback that we have, but it also isn't. I think we're just skipping skeleton and just going to node list and right and search text. So where do we get search text? Yeah, we're just passing it from above. So what is the above for body? It's here. So we have where we have URL. So search text is definitely a part of URL. So if we do URL here and URL string here, it's still fun to see like how fast Go is, because it's like all the error type checking, all that stuff, it's happening like instantly. Yeah, so I guess node list can also just take URL. And so let's start doing node list. So it could be hdef URL for now. Okay, slash. Oh, interesting. It didn't pick up the whole string. So where do we get URL for page? It's yeah. So this one is URL, but this one is a string. Okay, so if we do this and we do URL is I guess this is working. Yeah. So I can do dot path here. Here it's URL. So it's star URL. In a node list, it's also URL. Yes, star, right? Okay. And yes, I try to if I do format something like this, yeah, so now it compiles. Yeah, still don't know what to do with disabled true. So what's going to happen if I disable disabled? Don't remember like what's the right one. Yeah. Okay, so let's say this is going to be the part of this commit. Okay, so we're doing this. So we're making everything a URL. And so how do I get Q? So it's URL query get Q. Okay, so let's say it's Q now. Okay. So have you seen that? This is so cool. This is probably what people using HTMX are feeling when they do something like this. This is so nice. Okay. So I have all of this. So now I want to do more stuff. So we have this function search nodes. So I can call search nodes and pass Q to it. And I can say nodes is this. So search nodes takes a string. Yeah, I wonder what's happened if I don't pass Q. Is it empty string? Is it null, or like what's the story? It's a string. So let's say that node is a string. Will this compile? Okay, searching for. So if it's print and if it's value for Q. This is not value. Why is it underscore? Println print. Okay. Printf. I see. Okay, so refresh this and string. Okay, I guess it's empty string. That's a bit interesting, but I guess given that Go doesn't have union types, it makes sense. So we do this search nodes. So search nodes is going to read nodes, and if it's yeah, I guess that's not how I imagine it works. But hey, who am I to complain? Okay, I think I copied the wrong file. Oops. Yeah, so let's say that this commit didn't exist. And no one knows that I did that. Yeah, so we don't have this. We can create, yeah. So we have this folder, right? And we can create file db.go. And it could be package db. And it could be so the function is, yeah, so search node could be from db. And it has to be capital S. So I can search nodes, db search nodes. Okay. What's happening? Package db. Yeah, all the workspace stuff. I don't know how that works. So if I, okay, so this is strike nodes. So if I do strike nodes, something like this. Right. But does it work as DB though? That's the biggest question. Okay, it doesn't. Don't understand how examples work. I thought if I have this, then it's a module. Okay. Add go work file using this module. Okay, so what is go work? Examples, strike nodes. Okay, so remove this. When define db. All right, so if I go strike samples, could not import, no required modules provides. Okay. But if I do strike nodes and db, server db, here it is. Here's where I am. Okay, so go list. Okay, so I have. Okay, so all of this is strike, but now if I go to examples and do go list there, no required module provides go get. So I have strike nodes and I have strike nodes server. Okay. Interesting. Don't understand how that works. Why don't I understand how that works? Okay, let's just imagine that this is fine. Yes, strike db server. Right. So where I have a server, if I would to create a folder db there, and if I put db there, then I can go server db here, and it's going to work. Okay. Yeah, I think I just forget how their packages work. Yeah, so if I list it, it's server db now. Okay, so I have search nodes. So now, and we have db.js. So we have folder nodes and nodes.json. Okay, so this is the stuff that we need. So on the server, let's create nodes and let's move so let's move this file into this folder. Okay. And okay, so what do we have here? So I just need to read that file. So read JSON from a file. Nodes.json. Okay. I just want to do it. So file. Okay. Read JSON from a file. Nodes.json. Okay, so we have search nodes. So we have this, and we have this. Now, what we need is just nodes, read nodes, and for node, not title, blah blah blah. I guess it's like out filter nodes. Maybe it's not make. Yeah, it's not string either. I see. I think it's just like because of this type, it got confused. So the idea is that we're returning node, array of nodes, and error. So type is a node that has so it has a key number, title, body, created at, dated at. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure what's the syntax. Yeah, it's so sure that's a string. Okay, I'll add errors later. So filter nodes by Q. So for node, turn nil. Okay, so this is not it. Okay, so out, run out. So now out without node and return out. What if it has an error? So nodes error. Turn out error. It's not giving up. Not giving up. Okay. Expected. Yeah, that's not how. Okay, Golang return to, yeah, yes, tuple. Okay, so, okay, it is in parentheses. Okay. Now, okay, so now let's say that read nodes is doing this. Doesn't want to do it. I don't know why it doesn't want to do it. So, well, kinda. Not enough return values. Okay, so ID number. Yes, I'm not sure what number works best. Golang, JSON, JavaScript number. Okay, so it's float 64. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Let's start with this. So search nodes. Yeah, so what do I do with errors here? It's interesting. Yeah, I guess let's panic. Is that a function? No, doesn't seem like a function. So if yeah, so let's do something like this. Okay, so wrong type. Okay, so first of all, let's note the. Okay, so now let's try to run it. Okay, empty array. Sure, that's cool. Now let's do it for real. And okay, let's try it, compile it. Implement this function. I don't know what, so yeah, this one doesn't work as well. Okay. Good old Google, Golang, read JSON file. Okay, so open a file. Okay, this looks better. So the file is going to be server nodes, and we're going to just format everything. And drag in. Okay, so it's nil. No such file or directory. Okay. So let's try again. So if I'm here, it's nodes JSON. Okay, no such file or directory. Okay, it's there. Okay, so now we did this. Probably need defer, and now we need to have all of this and try to unmarshal. Interesting. We need to read it into a byte array first. I wouldn't have expected that. Yeah, so now deprecated. Simply call IO read all. Interesting. Don't know what any of this means. But yeah, let's say that okay, so result is a map of anything to everything. Okay, what about array? So user is users. Okay, which is a struct. Not exactly. Okay, from array. Okay, so this is not what I expect. So data is my type. My type is array. Okay. So I have, I guess I have nodes, and I'm reading into nodes. Okay. So what is unmarshal return? Returns error. Okay. I mean, it's not fatal for us, right? We can just return empty nodes with error. But if we didn't return empty nodes with error, we can return nodes with null. Which is almost as cool. Yay. I think it even wanted to do the data format, which was extremely skeptical that it will work out. Okay, so we did this. So what about nodes? So let's not do any checks. Yeah, so everything is inside nodes now. Interesting that it was able to serialize it. That's because when we look for nodes, we turn it into string here. Okay, that's cool. So now let's do the search. So search was in title to lowercase includes query to lowercase. Okay. So we do search is q to lower. Is that a thing? I don't think it is a thing. Yeah. I don't know why Copilot is like so competitive today. Okay, lower Q. And now we just do func lower. This is not it. This is definitely not it. What is going on? Okay, is strings to lower thing? Okay, I think it is. Okay, so now we do title, strings to lower, body, strings to lower. So if any of this contains, then do this. Okay, so cheese. Okay, I'm so happy that I was able to do that. Yeah. So the interesting part is that I can, if it's already part of the title, I don't want to do this work. So it's like it can short circuit. And right, so all of this stuff works now. And should probably do this a bit later as well. Okay, so not terrible. It's not like I wasn't able to write it like at scripting speed, but still kind of works. So what do I feel now? Now we're going to turn this node list into something more presentable. So node list. Yeah, so we do all of this stuff. And so couldn't find any nodes. Okay, so let's start with that, I guess. So if it's 0, return no nodes was found. So cool, by the way, because I'm working on this thing, it's actually I don't actually need to refresh the page anymore. Oh, I wonder if I committed that set timeout. Where I do like a 2-second hydration thing. Yep, I did. So that's islands, and yeah, it should be here. Okay. So yeah, so I can work on this stuff and just trigger refresh inside. Yes, let's do design. So we have this, and we do so div with nodes empty, and then we can't do this easily in Go. So it's going to be text, and to get this text, we're going to say no nodes created yet. But if Q, yeah, I'm not a fan of this, to be honest. This is definitely not cool. Okay, so if we do this, I refreshed it again. So could not find anything. Yeah, interesting why it's like the design is jumping. Yeah, probably like this thing because it doesn't have any CSS classes. Okay, couldn't find any nodes, title, blah blah blah. Okay. So we did this. So now if we have nodes, we do HUL nodes list. Not sure about the role. I think it's already like nav. So we do all of this stuff, and now we do nodes. So if we do nodes here, it will actually crash because it doesn't know how to turn it into string. So all of those nodes needs to be turned into li item, and I'm not sure how it works in node, right? So in Go. So I do nodes components, and for right. So to do that, I do HLI with key, which is node ID, and then I do some kind of sidebar node, and I pass the node. Okay, so that's the plan. I can render node components. Yeah, it's funny that you still have to do all of this stuff with JavaScript, right? You just don't notice that you do it. Okay, let's see what Copilot has created for us. Okay. So it wasn't able to create something good. So expected a string, but got undefined. So which part is that? Okay, also like this is a number. I don't know how that works. Okay, so let's go to this. Okay, so no, I guess it maybe it doesn't compile. No, it does. Okay, so we do nodes list, nodes list. So this part works, but then when we do node components, it turns it into some kind of li. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if we can do something like this. Huh, doesn't work either. Okay, so let's go simpler. So let's say that node components are IH from div hello. So if we do just this part, too many arguments. Okay. Okay, so it's an array. Okay, so yeah, so it doesn't know how to render them for some reason. So that's on. Yeah, so that's on the render to string function. So let's try that go. So I should be checking arrays there somewhere. And yeah, I guess let's see what is getting returned, because h function could be doing something bad as well. H, so format node list. Okay, so it's not list. Yeah, so it's an it's an array of an array. Yeah. Okay. So I guess maybe like h function didn't work completely. So I have this one. It didn't work for some reason. So I wonder if I have component here will work. Can it use thingy? Okay. Compatible assign. Yes, for some reason. Yeah, so if it was something like this, would it work? Yeah, it's still a deep thing. Okay. Nothing seemed to work. So if I format type here, oh, I need to restart. I forgot, because our thing is like higher up. I don't know how to fix it yet. Okay, so hello. Okay, I'm not sure what fixed it though. Yeah, so we had. Okay. So this one, right? Okay, so let me remove all of this and let's check. Okay, so I guess I need this. Yeah, I don't know what's the difference between component and any, but at this point, I'm just going to think that it's fine. Yeah, so now it's just an array, it's not a deep array. So now let's try to do Elias. And it even kind of works. So we have this, which is li with a key. Yeah, so all of this was just dreamed up by this thing. So where do children go? Children go here. Okay, so this has to be a client component. And this is going to be the server component. Okay. Yeah, I think the summary is going to be the hardest part to implement because I don't know, I would need to have some kind of third-party library. But yeah, so let's start with this one. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to say that I have a div with this class. And then could be expanded as well. But mainly I only care about children. And this is where the children server components go. So it starts with a header. Yeah, I should just copy it. So it starts with a header and blah 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 header. Then it's strong title and small updated at header ends. And yeah, so the body is interesting because a past title here, this title probably goes somewhere. Yeah, so this is just children part. Okay, so let's start with this. Okay, compiled and okay. So this is, we're missing some kind of style and our date format is wrong. So what is the style that we're missing? Where does that gray color come from? Interesting. So it's a button, it's a border. Sidebar node open. Okay. Okay, so all of this is a client component. Right. Okay. So it's time to do client component stuff. And also interesting that it jumps, right? It uses different format for dates for different rendering. Do I get a mismatch or props object containing key? React key must be passed directly to JSX without using spread. Interesting. Okay, this is my implementation on server that is wrong. That is doing it wrong. So I should be yeah, it's basically my hydration script. So my function that turns JSON to JSX. Yeah, so this one. So if I have so if key is key, okay, so let's do this. Yeah, so I have keys, and what I should be doing is that I should be unsetting key, so it won't complain about keys anymore. But we would be missing keys. so how is JSX's function works? Okay, so where's the key? Yeah, they probably don't talk about it. Okay. I guess I can just print the function and just see if it's named properly. Type props key false, right? So key is null. But then here I can say that key is v, and I can pass key here. Okay. So programs could be spread to JSX. Okay. I think it didn't work. I wonder I'm not calling JSX. I'm always calling JSXX. Okay, yeah, so I have a node in JSXS. So type props key. Okay, so maybe key should be undefined instead of null. Okay, so, but for some of them, we should be setting key to something. Yeah, so key 5 here. Okay, so let's say that this is it. Right, so now we're getting the hydration stuff. And there is, of course, the press hydration, but that seems wrong. So the reason that we have this issue is because we shouldn't be sending it like that. So it should be some kind of like format. Something like this. Right? So it's going to be consistent. Now let's see what is happening there. We're checking is today. I mean, all of them are not going to be today, so I can probably safely skip on that. Oh well, I guess like once I had. Oh yeah. Okay. So how does is today work? Date fairness functions, I guess, is today. Okay. Okay. Offset returns false. It's definitely today though. Better solution for the problem. Okay. UGC functions. Set UGC to UGC. Okay. Golang check if date is today. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Is today. So I have two functions. And how do I do kind of like now? Time.now. maybe. So now type that now. Then yeah, okay. Okay, so we have is today. Okay, I guess it's just like is today equals this, and then I say something like if is today okay, so I'm going to say that last edited is an empty string, and if it's today, then last edited is okay, let's say today. Mhm. Okay. It's empty string now because it's not today, right? Okay, so it says today. So what I'm thinking is that node updated add format. So this is for today, and else last edited format is this. So okay, so it didn't work. This format is text out table format according to layout defined by the argument. Blah 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 blah. How do you do layout? Reference time, numerical order. Right, and I'm looking for m slash. This is so confusing. Uh, so let's say that it's a January to 06. Okay, I edited the wrong one. Okay, June. Okay, so it's how do I specify the months? Okay, so 2 January. Okay, so if it's 01, then it's 06. If it's underscore 1, it's underscore 6. Oh, okay, I broke it. This is like such a good intention in terms of the format, but I have no idea how to use it. Right, so if I have 1, Oh, did I do it? Okay, I'm not sure why it didn't work before then. Okay. Okay, it works. Let's not think about it too much. So now, if it's not today, no. Okay, so this is format for not today. Wow. So now we need format for today. So format for today is the hours. Okay, where's the PM one? Yeah, so 3:04 PM. Ten AM. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Yeah, so if I do 3 and 4 here. Yeah, interesting. So it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, it's kind of better, but kind of I'm just not used to it. Okay, so now if it's today, do this. If it's not today, do this. Okay, so far so good. I can search cheese and it finds it. Okay, so I'm going to say that this is kind of done. And the idea is that we implemented implement nodes search. Okay, so how are we doing on stream? It's been 3 hours, which is I'm pretty sure no one is going to watch my videos over 3 hours. Just as I say it, someone subscribed. Is it Apna College Dust? What's Dust? Okay, so I'm tempted to do the client stuff just to see if I can do it, especially because that's where we can use a lot of bun stuff. So let's try at least a little bit. So that what we're talking about is that this sidebar node content thing should be an island. So if I return an island, that's called sidebar node content. You should get some prompts. I'm going to ignore that for now. And I'm just going to say if one, then this. I wonder if that will work. It works on Elixir. Yeah, I think it compiles. So now if I update it, it will crash because this island doesn't exist. And what I need to do is I need to move it from sidebar node content to sidebar node content JSX. Now I can commit it. Now I can go to my build script and add that file. In run build. It's going to complain about router, which is fine. Because we're not going to do router. Okay, we need location for router. That's more complicated. We were able to build it. So now we need to add into, we have islands, and we need to basically declare that island. So now that we declared it, we can try to render it, but user router is not defined, which is fine. Which is, unfortunately, it's not completely fine because I don't really know how we're going to fix it. But it's fine enough. So yeah, so we have this user router. We're just going to ignore it for now. We're going to see what else crashes. So we're checking location here, like is active. We're just going to say is active false. Try to build it. Try to refresh it. Okay. So okay. So it kind of works. We need to change icons. So this chevron app is don't remember. I guess it's public chevron app. No, static. Okay, I forgot. So which one is? Okay, static / logo. Okay, I guess I was just editing a different file. Oh, I was forgetting to build it again. Yep. Okay. Oh, I can even click on it. Okay, that's cool. So navigate is not defined. Okay, where do we navigate? I don't know why TypeScript has died, but it did. So we do navigate to select the active one, which is the easiest part to fix. So we just do RSC nav or yeah, /ID. Yeah, we don't know ID yet, so that could be a problem. And I forgot to build it again. I wonder if I can just put it in the watch mode. Okay, build successful. Yeah, I don't think it watches enough files to pick it up. Okay, so nav doesn't work. Yeah, because it's underscore. Okay, this is better. So now let's do props. So first prop that we need is ID. So this is easy. Just go here and we say props ID equals node ID. Then we need title and expanded children. Yeah, title is good. So refresh. Kind of works. Okay, I can navigate to nodes. So now, as for children, this is where things get interesting, because right now I use children for like fallback for SSR stuff, and I need to separate them somehow. So I need to put children here. So let's say that it's not children. It's not title for some reason. Yeah. I don't know what's happening with this title. Animate with titles edited. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting way of doing it. Yeah, so now instead of children, there has to be yeah, my island should work differently. Should yeah. I don't know how to do it yet, so let's yeah, so let's just say that instead of children, it's going to be initial children, and this is where this children thing goes into. Okay, so okay, forgot to build it again. Should just do while sleep 1, 2, done. Yeah. This is better than watch mode, right? I guess yeah, I don't want to fix it right now. So I have all of this stuff. So now, if I do that expand the children stuff, and if it's expanded children, hello. This is so crazy that it formats it like that. Okay, so ascended hello, right? It's getting hello, but we don't render it for some reason. Is expanded and then expanded, but I'm doing, yeah, I guess I'm doing it, where am I doing it wrong? Yeah, I'm doing it wrong here. It should be initial children. Hi. Okay. Okay, so I have high here. So it shouldn't be high, so it should be like this header component, right? Or like this strong thing. So if I put it here, so what's going to happen? Yeah, objects are not valid as React children. Yeah, because when I render it here, it doesn't know that it needs to turn it into JSX. And that's this function. It only calls JSON to JSX on children, which is not the way that you do it. Yeah, I can only pass stuff as children. I can do multiple children, I guess, and then just pick different ones. That's not the best solution, but it is a solution. Yeah, so let's say we're going to ignore this, and so we have props here, and everything that goes here goes here. Okay. So what's going to happen here? Yeah, so I use, so instead of initial children, if it's children, okay. Yeah, because I don't do SSR, has to do this thing. Right, so now the fun part. So because children is an array, right? I can just use multiple children, and I can destruct children somewhat. So all of this stuff, it used to be, it used to have this div above it. So if I preserve that div, my initial rendering is going to be good, but then it turns bad. But when I look at my children, I can inspect them and I can say, okay, so just pick the first children and take props children from it, and that's going to be the thing that you can return. Right, so it like I don't have the right color at first, which as far as I remember is just this button that we don't render. So it's this button. So if I render this button after children, so after header, yeah, so here, so it's age button, its class is sidebar node open, and it's a button that no, you guys hate this. So is active. Yeah, this one doesn't know what is active is, right? Okay, so we're talking about gray 95. No, we're not talking about gray 95. Where's the background that turns everything gray? Right, so it's definitely this one. Don't understand how this CSS works. Okay. Sidebar not open. Border transparent. Background. Gray 80. Why did it? Where did? I don't understand. Okay. So we're going to say that it's sidebar node open. Then it's style background. Yeah, like, but none of them are active. Okay, don't understand. Okay, let's just say that it's not gray at first. I don't know how to fix it. Right, and it could be active if we would have state. Okay. Okay, so what about our warnings? Did we add new warnings? Child key. Okay, all of this is fine. Yeah, so let's implement is active, and I think that that's it for now. So we go here, we do. Okay, let me just play a bit with styles and stuff. So if I remove just all of this stuff, it still shows it. So it's not this one. So if I remove this button, still shows it. If I remove this button, okay, now it's white. So if I remove styles, still shows it. Okay, so I think I only need a button with that style. So maybe it's not as scary as I was thinking about it. So if after header I have a button that has this class, and it doesn't even have to have children. Yeah. Okay. I was overcomplicating stuff. Okay. So we have all of this. Now okay. So now this is our way to to use children. So with what is missing is location. So I can just read location.window, I bet. Yeah. Let's just try that. Console log window dot location. Right? So if it's equal to this, it's active. Okay. I think that's not bad. Okay. Right, so we don't do this yet because we don't do expanded children. We don't probably even need it to be expanded. I mean, yeah, it has this thing. Okay, so let's figure out how we can do that. If I yeah, if I do something like this, if I do age B sidebar no exert, then I do I no content. So if I do this, so what's going to happen? This thing is going to show up there, but I can say that this is actually an strike slot, and all of this stuff goes inside of a slot. Okay, so if I refresh it, it's going to be there, but I can also do something like this. I can do props that have style display none. And refresh, style prop. What's happening? Okay, expects mapping from style properties to values, not a string. Oh, this is interesting. Didn't I have any styles before? Thought I did. Okay, then we don't do styles. So if we don't do styles, but we have our style here, we can do strike slot display none. Okay, so this is where you're like, yeah, but how do you get the children? So the point is that this component, so it gets, okay, that's the wrong one. So this is Strike Island. So our island has this div and this div as children. So this div didn't fail to compile, or no? I didn't see it for some reason. Yeah, so here this div and this slot. So if I go here and I look at our like children, all that stuff, I can do the same thing for expanded. And those expanded children are just going to be children 1 props children. And they are going to be inside of strike slot. So refresh. Yeah, you can see that it like preserves the state when we navigate the same way as this one does, or when we search. Yeah, but it doesn't preserve if it got removed. And so same one with this one. Cool. This is cool. Yeah, so the serialization of stuff is definitely broken. So we have to do like this magic. We need to mark our children properly, but it still kind of works. So this, yeah, so don't need navigate, don't need location, so we did this part. We do new build, we added new island, this is the compiled one. Let's just run build just to check if the compilation is the same. And yeah, so add sidebar interactions. Yeah, this is the moment where I would say, oh, I wish I could just deploy it. But I would need to have like another fly project and stuff. Okay. Okay. Okay, so here's a bit of a demo. This is React Nodes. This was like a presentation, part of the presentation for React Server Components. You can search stuff here, it will go to the server and ask for new results. You can click on stuff to see it, and you can expand to see more state, which is a client state. So when I get server responses, if they are if they're matching, if it has like the same ID, it will preserve the client state. But if I do something that will like remove the item from the DOM, it will lose its client state, so it will unmount. So this is the same thing with my Go server components. I can search something. I'm using URL because this one is, it doesn't have like a real router. It just has this kind of like global object where which it can just send to the server. So my search results go into URL. If I click on something, it's adding server state or the client state. I don't parse the nodes yet, so it just shows a placeholder for now. If element goes out of the DOM, it will lose its state, but if not, it will preserve it. And I can click on them to to move around. When I click on it, it resets the search from URL, right? That's why that's why search got reset. But here I can click without losing it. It's just a question of like fixing the navigation that I'm doing right now. And yeah, so you can click new to get this one, and right now it just changes the URL. I'm not showing anything here yet. And yeah, that would be it. We've been online for like 4 hours, which is a lot. And yeah, thanks everyone who was hanging out. And if you can subscribe to my YouTube, that would be really cool. Yeah. Parasocial fix. It's starting to show up in YouTube, which is really cool. Because usually it's just right, like parasocial, some other parasocial stuff, not my parasocial stuff. But anyway, thanks everyone, and bye.